Happy Thanksgiving. Yes, it is probably my favorite holiday of the season. I know some people like Christmas or New Year's. Thanksgiving symbolized to me abundance and family and friends and food. It's like the triumvirate of all my love languages right there in one thing. But let me start off with this. Galatians 6:10 says this, "Therefore, as we have opportunity, let us do good to all people, especially those who belong to the family of believers." Galatians 6:10. Now, as a child, I dreamed of a Thanksgiving that would be perfectly plated. My dad would come downstairs in a red cable knit sweater. My mom would set the table with fine china. In the kitchen, there'd be the wafting aromas of a glazed turkey and green bean casserole and homemade cranberry sauce. And in the oven would be a warm, toasty pumpkin pie that we would then put a dollop of Cool Whip on top of while my sisters and I were playing Scrabble, waiting for the pie to be done. At the end of the table, I would be with John Smith, and at the other end, Pocahontas would be there, and then we would all calmly bow our heads and close our eyes and give thanks on this day. But see, my dreams inevitably were dashed every single year because my father would not wear a red cable knit anything. In fact, if I'm honest with you, I'm excited if he wears like a t-shirt to the dinner table. Growing up, we were recipients of boxed Thanksgiving meals. In a sense, people from the church would donate a box of Thanksgiving goods. And I remember one year vividly opening up the box and picking up this jar of red stuff. And I read the label, pickled kimchi. I didn't even know what kimchi was. So this is the extent of my perfectly poised Thanksgiving. We would have a Korean side dish. My dad would not be dressed. We would be running around crazy trying to get dinner set and trying to make do with a box of donated food. But as my dad was a miracle worker in the kitchen, because he's the true chef of the family, it almost gave me a foretaste of the true chef that Jesus is. As my dad could pull a miracle out of a donated food box, Jesus wants to do the same thing in our life. And when he does that, we give lavishly to those who perhaps are in need. I love when Paul wrote to the church in Galatia. He said, "Do well to the brethren." And as we go into this Thanksgiving season, what does it look like to identify one person, a friend, a family member, or a stranger that you know does not have food in this season? As a recipient of a Thanksgiving box of food, I hope and pray that you watching this right now will be so moved, so inspired, so convicted to live generously. Last week's message was live simply so others can simply live. So what does it look like for you now to live generously so that someone else could eat? What does it look like to open up your doors? Like Isaiah says, open up your doors, bring them wide, and bring those on the streets to your dining room table. For then that is when people will be able to see Jesus, smell Jesus, and dare I say, taste Jesus in the green bean casserole, the glazed turkey, the cranberry, and the amazing stuffing. As a woman who feels passionately about cooking that I've inherited from my father, I also want to cook a soul food. So as you feel full this week, I pray that your soul is also met and overflows as you give generously to those in need.